Take a look at this modern portfolio landing page we'll build in this tutorial. It features a Glassmorphism hero section, a responsive navigation bar, and a dynamic project gallery built with a stylish Bento-style layout. Everything adapts smoothly across screen sizes, from mobile devices to large desktop displays. Now here's the intriguing part. This entire layout was built using only pure CSS Grid and Flexbox. No frameworks, no Bootstrap, no Tailwind, and no layout libraries. Just modern CSS and semantic HTML. Modern browsers have evolved significantly, and today's CSS provides powerful layout systems that make many frameworks optional. By writing clean, native CSS, we can build layouts that are faster to load, easier to maintain, and much more flexible. In this tutorial, you'll learn how to architect a hero section using Flexbox, build a responsive portfolio grid with CSS Grid, create a modern Bento-style layout, add subtle animations and hover interactions, and design a fully responsive landing page without relying on frameworks. So, if you want to master modern layout techniques and build professional websites using just native CSS, let's get started. First, download the code snippets file using the link in the description and get your code editor ready. For many years, web designers relied heavily on frameworks like Bootstrap or Tailwind CSS to build responsive layouts. These frameworks help solve problems like grid systems, spacing, and mobile responsiveness. And for a long time, they were extremely useful. But modern CSS has evolved dramatically. Today, modern browsers support powerful native layout tools, such as Flexbox for one-dimensional layouts, CSS Grid for two-dimensional layouts, container queries for responsive components, fluid typography using Clamp. These features allow developers to build complex layouts directly with CSS, without depending on heavy frameworks. When you remove large framework dependencies, your website becomes significantly lighter. That means smaller CSS files, faster page rendering, and better performance metrics. Performance metrics like Core Web Vitals reward fast and efficient websites. Writing your own CSS also gives you complete control over your layout. Instead of overriding dozens of predefined classes, you build exactly what your design requires. This leads to cleaner HTML, more predictable styling, and easier debugging. In this tutorial, we'll take advantage of modern CSS to build a professional portfolio landing page from scratch. You'll learn how to combine Flexbox for flexible alignment, CSS Grid for advanced layouts, and modern responsive techniques, all without relying on any frameworks. Let's begin by setting up our project structure. Creating the project folder. Let's start by creating a clean project structure. Inside our main folder called Portfolio Landing Page, we'll create an index.html file for our page structure, a CSS folder for our styles, an images folder for project visuals, and an assets folder for any additional media like icons or fonts. Organizing files this way keeps our project scalable and easy to maintain. Creating the HTML file. Now let's create the HTML foundation for our portfolio landing page. We'll start with a modern HTML5 document structure and then add the main layout sections we'll build later. Open the index.html page. Copy and paste the following starter HTML template. This structure uses modern semantic HTML elements. We have a header for navigation, a main section for core content, a hero section for the landing page introduction, a portfolio section to showcase projects, and a footer for site information. These elements improve accessibility and help search engines understand the page structure. We've also linked our external style sheet, where we'll write all our CSS. In the next section, we'll begin creating our global design tokens and base styles to power the entire layout. In this section, we'll create a global design using modern CSS architecture used by professional teams in 2026, including CSS reset strategy, design tokens, fluid typography, layout containers, and base styling system. This section also prepares the project for everything that follows in this tutorial. Why design tokens matter? Before we begin designing the layout, we need to establish a consistent design system. Modern CSS projects use something called design tokens. Design tokens are reusable variables that define properties such as colors, typography, spacing, border radii, and layout sizes. Instead of repeating values across our CSS, we define them once and reuse them everywhere. 1. Adding a modern CSS reset. Now, let's add the following browser reset code to our styles.css file. This reset removes inconsistent browser defaults and gives us a clean baseline for our layout. The code removes default margins, paddings, and styles across elements, ensuring consistency across different browsers. It also sets up a clean baseline by normalizing typography, media sizing, and link and list behavior, so we can build a design system without interference from browser defaults. 2. Defining global design tokens. Next to the base reset code, add the following CSS variables to set the default colors, typography, and spacing. These tokens define our entire design system for the site. For example, the color tokens, color * controls the brand colors. Using OKLCH plus light dark ensures perceptual consistency and automatic theme switching. Typography, font main, FS * set the base font family and fluid font sizes with clamp for responsive scaling. Spacing, space * standardize margins and paddings across components for consistent rhythm. Layout, container width controls the maximum width of content containers. Effects, radius, transition define border radius for rounded corners and transition timing for smooth animations. These tokens create a single source of truth for our design system. Instead of hard-coding values everywhere, we reference variables, making our CSS easier to maintain, theme, and scale. 3. Creating base styles. Now apply these tokens to the page to create the base styles. Open the styles.css file and add the following CSS. These base styles apply our tokens across the entire website, ensuring consistency. 4. Creating a responsive container system. Professional sites use containers. So, add the following styles to create a consistent layout across devices. This container keeps content centered and prevents layouts from stretching too wide on large screens. Max width, var, container width, ensures the content never stretches wider than our design's intended width of 1200px and margin inline. Auto centers the container within the viewport, keeping layouts balanced. 5. Preparing for layout sections. Finally, let's add the following styles for our placeholder classes. Now that our design tokens and base styles are in place, we're ready to start building the Heroes section using Flexbox. The goal of this section is to build a modern hero landing section, use Flexbox for vertical alignment, create a Glassmorphism hero card, add a call to action button, and keep the layout fully responsive. 1. Update the HTML hero section. First, let's update the HTML code of our hero section. Open index.html and replace the hero section with this HTML structure. We're wrapping our content inside a container so it stays centered on large screens. Inside the hero section, we create the main headline, a description paragraph, and 2 call to action buttons. Two, create the hero layout with Flexbox. Now, open styles.css and add the following CSS to create the hero layout. Here we use Flexbox to vertically align our hero content. The property align items. Center ensures the content sits perfectly in the middle of the viewport. 3. Create the hero wrapper. Now, add the following CSS to create the hero wrapper. This wrapper helps us control spacing and alignment for the hero content. 4. Style the hero content card. Now add the Glassmorphism panel with the following CSS properties. This effect is called Glassmorphism. We achieve it using transparent backgrounds, backdrop filter, blur, and soft borders. This style is popular in modern interfaces such as operating systems and dashboards. You can adjust any of the CSS properties to suit your style and brand identity. 5. Style the hero text. Furthermore, add typography adjustments to the hero content using this CSS. We also limit the paragraph width using character units so the text remains readable. 6. Create the button layout. Add the following CSS for the buttons of the hero section. This allows the buttons to sit side by side on larger screens and wrap naturally on smaller screens. 7. Add a hero background image. Let's update the hero section to include a background image. This will enhance the hero visually. Update the entire hero section CSS code with the following, and ensure that you have an image named herobg.jpg in your images folder. This entire code, including the overlay, improves text readability on top of the hero image. When you're done, preview the web page you've created. Notice the hero section filling the screen, its centered content, the Glassmorphism card, and responsive buttons. Resize the browser window to demonstrate responsiveness. Flexbox is perfect for the above results. It helps us to achieve vertical centering, alignment, and flexible content flow in all devices. In this section, we'll build a modern responsive navigation, use Flexbox for layout, implement a mobile hamburger menu, use details and summary for a CSS-only toggle, add a popover navigation panel. If you're ready, let's keep going. 1. Update the navigation HTML. First, we'll update the nav HTML code we created earlier. Open index.html and replace the navigation inside header with this structure. In modern HTML, we can create collapsible navigation menus using the details and summary elements. These elements allow us to build an interactive toggle without writing any JavaScript. The summary element acts as the hamburger button, while the navigation links sit inside the drop-down container. Two, create the navigation layout with Flexbox. Now, open styles.css and add the following code to style the navigation section. We use Flexbox here to distribute space between the logo and the navigation menu. The header is also sticky, which means it stays visible while users scroll. We also use the span within the summary element to create the classic 3-line hamburger icon. On larger screens, the navigation links are visible by default. The open attribute is automatically applied when a user clicks the summary element. This allows us to show or hide the menu purely with CSS. Preview the site to see the navigation in action on different devices. Flexbox helps us align navigation items, distribute space, and maintain responsive layouts. Meanwhile, the details element allows us to create interactive menus without JavaScript. The site now feels much more like a real production website. This is one of the most exciting modern CSS features of 2026, and viewers love seeing it. The goal of this section is to add smooth entrance animations as elements appear on screen. Use modern CSS scroll-driven animation properties. Avoid JavaScript animation libraries. Create subtle motion that improves user experience. 1. Introducing scroll-driven animations. Modern browsers now support scroll-driven animations directly in CSS. Instead of relying on JavaScript animation libraries, we can trigger animations when elements enter the viewport using built-in CSS properties. This keeps our site lightweight and improves performance. 2. Create the animation keyframes. Open styles.css and add the following styles to make the site dynamic. This animation simply fades elements in while sliding them slightly upward. Subtle animations like this feel natural and professional. When the page loads, the hero content animates into place. This helps guide the viewer's attention toward the headline and call to action. The animation timeline. View links the animation to the viewport scrolling timeline, and animation range controls when the animation begins and ends during scrolling. This tells the browser to trigger the animation when the element starts entering the viewport. The animation completes when roughly 40% of the element is visible. 3. Animate individual project cards. When portfolio cards are added later, they will animate automatically. So, let's prepare a reusable animation class with the following CSS. This reusable class lets us animate any element simply by adding the class animateIn. Example usage: div class equals project card animateIn /div. Because these animations are handled by the browser's rendering engine, they are extremely efficient. They run smoothly even on mobile devices and avoid the overhead of large animation libraries. When creating animations, always remember that animation should enhance the interface, not distract users from it. Subtle motion is the professional standard. This makes the page feel dynamic and polished. This section builds the core of the portfolio landing page. Here, we'll introduce grid template columns, repeat, min-max, auto-fit, and responsive masonry-style layouts to visually transform the page into a professional portfolio showcase. 1. Introducing CSS Grid. Now we're going to build the portfolio gallery, which is where CSS Grid really shines. While Flexbox works best for one-dimensional layouts like rows or columns, CSS Grid allows us to control both rows and columns simultaneously. This makes it perfect for building complex layouts like portfolio galleries and editorial grids. 2. Add portfolio project HTML. Open index.html and update the portfolio section with the following HTML. We're using the article element for each project because each project represents a self-contained piece of content. We've also added a few helper classes like large and tall, which will help us create the Bento layout. 3. Create the base grid layout. Now, open styles.css and add the following CSS for the portfolio grid. This grid uses two powerful features. Auto-fit. This automatically calculates how many columns fit in the available space. Min-max. This ensures each column never becomes smaller than 250 pixels, but can expand to fill the available width. We then position the project title at the bottom of the card using an overlay gradient to ensure readability. The Bento styling makes the CSS grid powerful. By allowing certain items to span multiple rows or columns, we can create an editorial Bento-style layout that feels much more dynamic than traditional grids. The subtle hover animation makes the cards feel interactive. Micro-interactions like this dramatically improve the perceived quality of a website. On smaller screens, we remove the spanning behavior so the grid stacks naturally. With the styles in place, ensure that you add images for the project portfolio and replace the file names Project 1, Project 2 appropriately. Then preview the page. You can see that the CSS grid allows us to control columns, rows, spanning, and layout flow with just a few lines of CSS. In this section, we'll introduce container queries, replace many traditional media queries, make components responsive to their parent container, improve layout adaptability. The problem with traditional media queries. Traditionally, responsive design relied on media queries, where layouts adapt based on the width of the entire viewport. For example, you might write Breakpoint for tablets, laptops, and desktops. But modern design systems often require something more flexible. What if a component sits inside a narrow sidebar or inside a wide content area? This is where container queries come in. Instead of reacting to the size of the screen, container queries allow components to react to the size of their parent container. That is, the component adapts to where it lives, just like the portfolio card. Enable container queries. To enable container behavior on the portfolio grid, we apply the following CSS. Open styles.css and add the following styles. The key property here is container type, inline size. This tells the browser to treat this element as a responsive container so that child elements can respond to its width. When the container becomes at least 400 pixels wide, the project card switches to a structured grid layout. This means the component becomes smarter about how it displays content. When the container becomes wider, the project card transforms into a two-column layout. This type of adaptability would normally require several media queries. When clamp is added, it ensures text scales smoothly between small and large screen sizes. The container queries are perfect for modular design systems, dashboards, reusable components, and CMS-driven layouts. In this section, we shall implement automatic dark/light mode, improve the interface with micro-interactions, show how design tokens make themes switching easy. Why dark mode matters. Modern operating systems allow users to choose between light and dark themes. Instead of forcing users to pick a theme manually, websites can automatically adapt to the user's preference. CSS provides the prefers color scheme media query. Implement automatic dark mode. We've already created our color modes by defining them in our base palette with light dark. That function automatically switches between light and dark values, depending on the user's system preference. That means we don't need to recreate separate color sets for each theme. We just define them once and let CSS handle the switching. To preview the dark mode, do the following. 1. Open the page in a browser, Edge, or Chrome. 2. Open the DevTools, F12. 3. Select More Tools, plus icon. From the list, select Rendering. 4. Scroll down and select the Enable Automatic Dark Mode option button. See how the site automatically switches to dark mode. Because we build our design using CSS variables, switching themes becomes incredibly simple. We have so far built a modern portfolio landing page using nothing but semantic HTML and native CSS. Scroll through the page and implement some basic things you learned in the previous tutorials. Add more pages, make the logo clickable, etc. We've already shown you how to deploy your site for free using Netlify in our previous tutorial. There are other free platforms you can use to deploy your website and pages for free. To deploy this project, all we need are the static files, HTML, CSS, and images. Because we didn't rely on frameworks or build tools, the site is extremely lightweight. Upload to a hosting platform. You can deploy a project like this instantly using platforms such as GitHub Pages, Versal, or Cloudflare Pages. First, create a GitHub repository and simply upload your repository to your chosen platform, and the platform will generate a live website for you. If you're confused about how to upload your finished project, reach out to us via the comment box. We'll be glad to assist you. In this tutorial, we built a complete portfolio landing page using modern CSS techniques, including Flexbox layout architecture, CSS Grid portfolio galleries, Bento-style design patterns, scroll-driven animations, container queries for responsive components, and automatic dark mode support. And we did it all without using any frameworks. There are many more things you need to improve on the page we built. We are open to assist you at any time. Just reach out to us via the comment or contact us now. If you enjoyed this tutorial, make sure to like the video, subscribe for more web development tutorials, and download the project files in the description so you can experiment with the code yourself. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.